If you recently became an entrepreneur or business owner, or you're even thinking about becoming one, then pay attention because in this series, I'll be bringing on guests who have started their journey within the last decade to share their story, experience, and also some advice that could help you get a perspective on the journey ahead of you. Now, if you're here for a course or some playbook to get £1 million in 30 days, do me a favor and just leave now. But if you're ready for the grind to become the best you can be, stick around for the ride of your life. And I promise you, you will learn something that's going to help you get ahead of the others who are on the same journey with you. So let's get into it. All right. So, who is Joe Herrera?
So Joe Herrera, well, some people know me as the downshift guy.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I'm just like a normal guy. I don't really, active duty. I've still in active duty. I'm just a regular, as anyone said, a regular Joe about it.
So, where did your story start? What made you want to go into entrepreneurship? What led you there?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of knew I was gonna want to do entrepreneurship since I was a kid. I kind of realized that as I got older. It was until I turned 24 that I actually really realized, dang, I think I've always been had that entrepreneur bone. As crazy as it sounds, I've actually owned 5 businesses that didn't work out. They ended up dropping. Then I had this break period, and I had this last business named Artera, and some stuff happened. And whenever I had to stop, it just kind of became like an emotional thing. It felt like my obsession was like someone was taking away something that I cared about.
Mm,
And whenever I started downshift, it kind of felt like I got that spark back.
nice. So, going from those five failed businesses now to creating Downshift, what was that? What was your headspace in? Were you thinking, oh, I hope it's not gonna fail again, or I think this is the one? What was your headspace like in that moment?
Headspace wise, I would say that it's interesting. My whole headspace changed. It's more like I don't think of them. Yes, as crazy as it sounds, I do take pride in having 5 failed businesses.
Mm,
It kind of they were able to teach me some lessons, and when I created Downshift, I ended up being all those lessons I've learned in the past, implementing them, like knowing about marketing, knowing about touching the right people,
mm,
knowing about how to communicate. That you need to be a communicator, and it took like a lot of learning, and even learning how to market. But with Downshift, I took every single skill that I learned in the past from all my failures and used the less as failures and more as lessons, and it kind of just
mm.
built Downshift from there.
Nice. Let's go back all the way to your first business. When you started that one, did you have like a plan that you set out, or did you just jump straight into it, just say, you know what, let's just get out of the way and see how it goes?
That's the talking about that's kind of funny. So whenever I first started, I just jumped straight in. I didn't really have a plan. I was like, you know what? I don't really like working for anybody, and why is it that I have to work for this guy? And
Mm.
when I first started, I was like, you know, screw it. I'm just gonna jump straight in. I don't know anything. Let's do this. That was the biggest mistake of my life. That was probably the roughest year of my life too.
Mm.
If I can go back in time, I would shake my self's hand and probably give him a hug and say, "This is gonna hurt really bad."
Oh my God. Do you feel like as you start to learn more and more, do you feel like now you think I probably should plan before I start something, or do you still have that desire to just jump straight in and just learn from the process?
um, I think in a way you have to have both. Um,
Mm,
yes, sometimes I would say you need a plan. You need to find out how much am I going to spend on marketing for the month? How much am I going to need for this month? How much? How do I connect? Who am I going to connect with? Actually, today, this evening, I have a motorcycle meet today that I'm hosting. I
mm,
had to plan that for about 2, 3 months, and there are some situations where you just got to pull the trigger. When I mean that, I don't mean like, oh, there's a guy behind an alleyway. Let me just talk to this guy. See if he'll lend me 20,000. No, I don't mean that. I mean like sometimes you have to. Yes, you have. It's good to plan, but you can't plan all the time because sometimes
mm,
some stuff just pops up that you don't expect, and sometimes you just got to jump straight in. Reason I'm saying that is because I used to have a bad habit with business too, where after business one, where I had no plan, I was planning. but I
Mm,
wasn't doing. So you have
mm,
to kind of have a middle ground both.
nice. And that's really good advice as well, because you never want to be that guy who just plans and plans and plans. Like you're planning for 6 months and nothing is happening. You never want to be
And
that
then you're
guy.
like, oh, I own this business. And then everyone's like, nothing's happened.
Literally, where is the business?
Exactly.
All we can see is a document. There's nothing else.
It's like you build the boat and you don't have, it's not moving anywhere. It's just staying there.
Literally. So, next question. Did you ever feel like you were not making any progress even though you were putting in the work? And how did you deal with that when it happened?
Heck yeah. So I would, I- even now, I still have it. There's going to get a point, and I'm still riding that point where it feels like nothing's happening.
Mm,
And basically, it's kind of like you feel beat up and you feel kind of tired and you're kind of suffering. And there's a saying that I like, and especially, you got to chew the broken glass. I really like the saying.
mm,
Um, but at the same time, it's kind of like you're standing in a room waiting for something to happen, and you keep doing the same thing. And like the task is, I throw a ball at this wall over and over again, hoping the balls is going to break through the wall.
yeah.
And the thing is, you keep doing it, and you're like, it's not breaking. Like I don't know what's the point.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep throwing the ball at the wall, you're going to break through it at some point. So really, it's like you get to the point nothing happens, and it kind of feels like it sucks. But I think the one thing that, especially as a entrepreneur, that I think that if you're just starting out, that you need to instill in your head is you have to be able to suck it up and know that this is for tomorrow, this isn't for today, and that
Mm,
that tomorrow isn't next month, 2 months, heck, not even for 2 to 3 years.
yeah.
But tomorrow, at least I know it's going to be worth it for tomorrow.
That's a bar. You know what? I'm gonna clip that. That is a bar. I love that. Now, let's bring out the big elephant in the room with social media. So that's
Yeah.
become a thing where a lot of people have leveraged that into marketing and building the brand, whereas some have used that as an excuse to not do anything. And we all know that there's a huge crisis on lifestyle where people feel like, oh, this person living this life, I should be in this position or this status or have X amount of money. And based on what you've seen on social media so far, have you ever felt yourself comparing yourself to someone else? And what did you do when you caught yourself doing that?
Yeah. I will admit that is a very very bad habit of mine that I had to realize. Basically, I do it a lot. I end up, and I think most entrepreneurs do it. They compare themselves, saying, "Man, why don't I have that? I want a
Mm,
McLaren, and I want a Lambo, I want a
mm-hmm.
Clownmobile, I want a new Kia Soul." But the thing is like, I you have to learn that sometimes you have to stay away from the noise and just focus on yourself because
Mm,
you're gonna one day you'll get that McLaren and stuff, you'll get that Lambo, but just like any other car, like you're gonna hop in, so it's gonna phase. You're just gonna go through the phase, and then it's just gonna be okay. This is my daily. Like we have it with motorcycles all the time. You first time starting a motorcycle, you're like, I'm excited for the full
mm-hmm.
first year. You're like, this is great. Then the second year comes around, and you're like, well, fuck. I gotta get to work. Gotta take the bike or the car.
Oh wow.
um, But I would say, yeah, I've done that a lot. I've compared myself to a lot of people. Like looking at, for example, James's interviews and stuff. I look at him
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, damn, such a young buck. How the hell, how is he my age? And he's already got all
Yeah,
the cool stuff. And I'm just like, no, hold back. Wait a second. I'm gonna have that myself, but I'm gonna have that for myself because I wanted it, not because I wanted to compare myself to them.
definitely. That's nice. That's amazing advice. Because I've also felt that way when I started off. I always felt like I had to keep catching myself to stop comparing myself to other people. Because as I say,
Yeah,
comparison is a thief of joy. And the more you do that, the more you start to steal that happiness that you should get from learning the process. Because most people, they forget
yeah,
that this social media is all about the end goal, the success. They don't play out the process. most often. So I always tell myself, you know what, that might be the day 100. You're still on day one. And as I keep telling
Yeah,
myself that, I keep reminding myself, you know what, just chill. It's gonna come. It just
yeah,
takes a while. And I think that's the best way I have overcome for myself. But I
yeah.
love that. I love that. So you have been someone who's been doing this for a couple of years now. What do you
Yep.
know now that you think most people who are just starting out completely underestimate in terms of business?
It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck a lot. So I got this one from Alex from Rosie. You have to be able to accept that you're gonna have to take some suffering.
Mm,
It's you have to embrace it. As crazy as like even in the military, we have a thing called biting the bullet. Sometimes you have to embrace the suffering to get out the other end.
mm.
Um, I will say I wish I knew some stuff back then that I know now. Maybe I would on a Lambo or some stuff. Uh, but honestly, I think if someone's starting off, and I learned this from many books I've read, Think and Grow Rich, How to Build $1 billion Business, all these other ones. I've and especially listening to podcasts and stuff, even like different interviews,
Mm,
you have to be obsessed. Like you have to be
mm,
obsessed. Like yeah, there's no tomorrow
yeah.
because you only have at least what 3-4 billion seconds before it's all over.
Mm,
So if you're going to know you're going to die one day, why not do something different?
yeah.
Um, but if you're getting into this game, definitely obsession, desire, discipline, they all have to come into one thing. And a lot of people they talk crap like, "Oh, you're too obsessed. It's unhealthy." If it was a drug, that would be different.
Mm,
But you have to be obsessed. You have to like you go to bed. Oh, it's on my mind. You go to
yeah.
work. Damn, this would be a great idea. Oh wait, let me install it. Uh, like there's not a day that goes by that I'm not thinking about downshift. And it sounds crazy. It sounds insane. But you have to have the vision. You have to have the goal. You have to have the plan. You have to have action behind the plan. But out of all of it, you have to be obsessed with it every day.
Nice. I'm pretty sure like someone like you work a lot in terms of your mind's always racing, so you have to try and put some of them into action. What would you say to those people who obsess about work-life balance?
Um, Stop it. Get some help. Uh, uh, I would say that you can try to plan and organize as much as you want, but work
Mm,
life balance at the end of the day, if you want to be an entrepreneur, it doesn't exist. You
mm,
have to find a way because once you're an entrepreneur, you're at work 24/7. It doesn't stop. Yes, you can spend those times where you can buy back your time when you get there,
mm,
but for now, as a person starting off, there's no buying back your time. You don't have the asset, you don't have anything made yet. There's no buying back your time. So it's just do it. There's no work life balance. You want to work out while listening to a podcast, on a call, think about something. If you want to do, if you have a Ubering, like for me, I'm going to be honest. I go to work in the morning. I work out when I can in the morning or the afternoon because sometimes my schedule messes up.
mm.
I come back, I bootstrap doing Uber, and then I work on the business at the same time during the whole thing.
That's the game.
It's the game. It's the grind. It's the grind before the what is it? It's a grind before you hire somebody else to grind for you
Mm, definitely.
because it sucks. Yeah, work life balance. I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, I don't think exists for an entrepreneur. Uh, for workers and day to day, I'm not saying anything's wrong with working a 9 to 5, but if you want to work a 5 to 9, you're going to have to kind of break that pattern of thinking about oh, I gotta this at this time, this at this time, this at this time. And trust me, planning your scheduler, like making a plan for the day, great. But work life balance is probably going to be a bit messy in the start.
Definitely. I agree with that. I think it came to a point where even now I had to start actually putting in meetings on my calendar because I never did that because I never saw the point of it. But now I lose track of, oh, I have a meeting with this person, I have a meeting with that person, and I literally had to
Yeah.
force myself to put it down somewhere. Because even now, I have like a haircut appointment on tomorrow in the morning. I haven't done it yet, and I'm still thinking I'm gonna forget this. Why haven't I done it yet? And I just gotten so used to the life
I do it all
of,
the time. It's all right.
it's so crazy because you get used to the life of, you know what, when it happens, it happened because you're planned around just, if I'm not in the office, I'm probably doing nothing. But when you're an entrepreneur, you're doing
Yeah.
so many things at the same time. It's hard to find time in between to like tell yourself that if I miss something out,
Yeah.
then it's gonna be fine. If you miss something out now, you're
Yeah.
finished. And it, like you
Yeah.
said, it is the game. It is the game.
Yeah. I will
I've
agree. And
Yeah.
nope. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I will say that um with it, like you forget a lot of things. Like you said, your haircut appointment. Heck, I was supposed to make a phone call for my job the other day, and I totally pushed it out because I was doing ad shoot that afternoon. I was like, and I walk in work in the morning, and he's like, "Hey, did you call that? You call that technician to come out today?" Oh fuck! It was my ad, but
I can't imagine. Alright, I've
ugh,
got one last question before we get into our final question of the day. And this, so you could answer this depending on your situation. It could be a personal answer, it could be a financial answer. But the question is, what is the one thing you had to give up when you started your business journey?
damn. It's a lot. I had to give up a lot. And it's painful.
Mm,
It's very painful. You have to sacrifice a lot of stuff for this. If you want to win like that. What I mean about that, I had to sacrifice a lot of time that I thought that I had. Turns out I didn't.
mm,
I had to sacrifice time with my daughter. Uh, I had to sacrifice myself. Uh, every single aspect of me, I had to sacrifice. Like hanging out with my friends. Usually, I used to go motorcycle riding every single day if I could, but
mm,
now I hear them outside my window, and I'm like, I want to go, but I have to do this first. This comes first. And there's a little note that I hang in my bathroom every time I wake up. There's a note next to my bed. Basically, it states it states my goal that by 2035 I will have $500 million within my bank account,
mm,
and I can now hold it in my hands and I can visualize and see it before myself, and I'm willing to sacrifice anything and everything possible for it. And the thing is like I repeat that every morning, and every time I get to that sacrifice line, I realize like, damn, I sacrificed a lot.
mm.
So if I'm gonna sacrifice it, it better be worth it.
Definitely. I love that. I don't know if have you watched Head of the Diary of a CEO by Stephen Butler? You know the
Yes.
podcast. So I started taking like different bits and pieces. So like for example, this entire interview is based off of School of Hard Knocks by James. So I decided to, I don't want to say steal, that sounds a bit wrong, but they have a tradition at the end where they leave a question for the next guest and the next guest answers the question on the podcast. So I started that tradition as well where I had a guest earlier and he left a question for you. And his
Um,
question was, what improvements do you want to leave behind in the world when you're no longer here?
uh, to change it in any way possible. I want to be able to leave this world knowing that I gave everything I could to
Mm,
my children, to their children, and to not even just my family, but to generations of different families. I want to
mm,
know that at least I was able to touch the souls of people that wanted to reach that goal.
mm,
And when I first started, I had this vision that there's a kid on the street corner who has nothing.
Mm.
And I used to live in a very, very bad ghetto. But
That's
I used to pass by these kids and they would be on the corner. And I remember there's this one kid, he always mentioned that, oh, yeah, I got this dream, I got this goal, I want to be it, but he didn't know how to do it.
mm.
And I hope that when I die, that the people after me can carry on the fact or caring for those people and helping them get to their goals and helping them grow. But not only that, being able to change the world. Because downshift is just the start. I want to be able to grow into opportunities like aerospace, space travel, different type of stuff because that's the next leap.
Mm.
And I want to be able to know that at the end of the goal that whenever downshift grows enough and I can transfer to that, I want to be able to know that I can be remembered for something crazy. At least something crazy.
Yeah.
And either that's going to Mars or being the first guy to make a rocket powered toilet. But I want to be able to know that my name is remembered for a certain reason because you have the Einsteins, the you have the Neil Armstrongs, you have Alexander the Greats. And the thing is like if I'm going to be remembered, I want to be remembered like one of the Alexander the Greats.
No, that was beautiful. I love that. That was beautiful. I think the person who asked that question would be very happy to hear that. So thanks so much for your time, Joe. This was amazing. And I'm really actually interested in downshifts as well. So I will connect with you after. I think we have a lot to discuss on how your journey is going so far. And I think I had a lot to learn from someone like you because believe it or not, I started out like 6 months ago and I've just been learning, gathering information, taking action. Even this interview, this channel, I had the idea like last week, Saturday or something. And
Yeah.
I just said, you know what? Forget planning, forget whatever. Just start it. Look for guests that want to hop on and just do it. And luckily enough, I've had 7, 8 guests that have agreed to do it. I'm thinking, imagine if I spent like 3 to 5 months planning, doing the right documents,
Yeah.
the right paperwork. It's like it's gonna be so long. Just start it and see how it goes. And I'm really happy I did. So I'd love to learn a lot from you and how you've been navigating the world so far and your journey. So thanks again for being here, taking your time to attend this. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for inviting me. Yeah, if there's anything that I can share, and I definitely love learning stuff. So I know there's a lot you can teach me as well. So I would definitely be down to just transfer ideas and knowledge with you anytime.
Love that. That was yet another amazing episode on the Founder Line. If you want to reach out to them, make sure to check the links in the description so you can see where they're at. If this show inspires you, if it helps you learn something, if it helps you grow, ensure you like, subscribe, and don't just go, share the show. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.